Hey guys, I'm out for a walk over here, fishing. Got the lake in the background. I wanted to, on vacation, but I just still want to give my opinion on Obi-Wan. So I managed to download it slowly on streaming, and we got to see episode 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan and give my thoughts and opinions on it. Well, I thought it was adequate. I thought it was solid. I felt like it could have been better, but Ewan McGregor is great in it as he always is. And I think it's good that they released 2 episodes at once. So I don't think episode 1 was enough for me. Episode 2 kind of gave me a little bit more of more action, more story, obviously, but there's a few flaws with it that I'm not exactly on board with. I think that Reva is the one that I have the most problems with believability. She doesn't seem very menacing or intimidating. It's more trying too hard, this villain. And it sucks because I was the one that always wanted this strong female villain, Sith. Of course, these are Inquisitors, so they're not Sith. They're dark Jedi or Jedi versus Jedi that are working on the dark side to hunt down the other Jedi in the world. Anyways, her character is just, she tries too hard. And I don't find her intimidating or menacing. And if that's going to be our major villain for the series, it's kind of a letdown. So a little bit of a letdown in that department. Grand Inquisitor, he looks goofy. He's got a fat head. And I don't know. There's a surprising twist. I'll save that for the spoiler section at the end of episode 2. But I'm sure that's just temporary. And there's going to be an in-canon explanation for it. I'm trying not to talk too much spoilers here. But episode 1 is essentially Obi-Wan, who's just doing exactly as he said he was going to do. Watch over Luke, protect Luke. He watches him from a distance with binoculars, buys him toys. Owen just wants him to stay away. But he gets spurred into action by a surprise from the series I didn't expect. Perspective from Leia's side. People are having a lot of fun at the lake. I don't know if you can hear them. Screaming their heads off over there. Anyways, so we get to see things from Leia's perspective on Alderaan. Didn't expect to see a lot of Alderaan stuff, and it really helps break up Star Wars' problem with, desert planets everywhere, right? Desert planet this, desert planet this. Well, we get some Alderaan in episode 2. We get this kind of cyberpunk planet, or just a planet with a lot of electric lights and stuff. So, so far it hasn't been too much desert that's overwhelmed everything. So that's been nice. Yeah. So eventually Leia, and it leads to some really ridiculous scenes because she's like supposed to be 10 years old. This little girl actress is doing the best job she can, but I'm never really that big of a fan of child actors that they'll be really, really good. I think she's adequate here. So, but anyway, she's smart, clever, and not your average kid, right? She's Leia. So, her cousin's mean to her, and she's able to use the Force to be mean right back to the cousin by her intuition, which is going to help her in the politics that she's going to have to do. So, Jimmy Smith's coming back to be Bail Organa and doing that, but she's very independent. She likes to go out in the forest like I'm at right now and kind of disobey her parents. Her mother just constantly wants her to be a princess and wave at everybody, but she wants a little more than that. So it sets that up. But then they have this unfortunate, ridiculous chase scene of some mercenaries showing up. Unexpected flee from never expected Red Hot Chili Peppers to be in my Star Wars, but Flea shows up here. He's, I guess he does an all right job, but it's just a little jarring to see him in it. To capture little Leia, and that spurs Bail Organa to ask for Obi-Wan's help. Which honestly is kind of a bad idea because Obi-Wan's supposed to be watching over Luke. Bail's like, Leia's just as important as Luke. I'm like, yeah, but not only are you putting Luke at risk, but you're putting Obi-Wan at risk, the rest of the Jedi, your whole thing. But he's being rather impulsive, and he really only trusts Obi-Wan rather than some mercenaries to try to recover Leia. So that kind of spurs Obi-Wan's character into action. We get a Jedi character who is running from the Inquisitors on this planet, and Obi-Wan has to essentially turn his back on him, and I think that adds to his character, to the fact that he's definitely going to help Leia, because it was kind of unable to help this other guy. So that kind of spurs him on to do that. So that's basically episode 1. Obi-Wan's he's kind of in hiding. He's packing meat or fish or whatever it is, and feeding his horse over and over, doing his daily thing. And eventually he gets spurred into action, not by Luke, but rather by Leia. So, and then you've got the Inquisitors. You've got the third sister, which this Reva character, she's pretty annoying. And you got one of the brothers and the Grand Inquisitor. So they're menacing enough. Like I said, she seems like she's trying too hard. She's like, the Inquisitors want to get the Outer Rim people to give up Jedi, so they're going to give them rewards. She's like, fuck that. She starts cutting people's hands off and being fucked up to everybody. So, I don't know. We've seen Imperial characters be impulsive before, so it's not out of character, really. It's just a beautiful walk. And so episode 1, I'd say, and then Obi-Wan decides... because Bail Organa comes in person to ask for his help, and he decides, okay, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna go off planet. So that's episode 1. I'd give that one probably a 7 out of 10. Episode 2 starts. Get a little bit more action here as Obi-Wan travels to this planet in order to save Leia from the space pirates. He does a good job, and we have, oh no, I forget this actor's name, but he's a comedian. He was in Stuber, I think it was, that we all really liked, me and Joe, with Batista. I forget his name, but he's a Indian actor, and he's really, really funny. He's a comedian, and he's pretending to be a Jedi, helping people. And his comedy, I loved his comedy. I think I was the only one that liked that Uber film, but me and Joe. And so I like him, and I like his comedy. Does it feel a little out of place for Star Wars? I guess, fine. Star Wars has always had this kind of goofy comedy in it. So I thought it was appropriate. He's trying to act like a Jedi. As soon as a real Jedi like Obi-Wan shows up and ruins his operation, he's like, oh shit. But that guy actually ends up being doing my little review here. We've got filming. Yeah. So we got a golf cart. There it goes. All right. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So he's got this operation on there, and he goes to him essentially because he's seedy enough and ratty enough to know what's going on. Kind of helps him a little bit to find Leia, but of course it's a trap that was set by the Inquisitors. And so Reva learns of it. She's rushing to get there, and but the other Inquisitor shows up, the Grand Inquisitor. He's always cock-blocking Reva, like, no, you think you're gonna take the glory from this? You ain't taking the glory. You're another. You're lesser than us. And so there's kind of a rivalry going on there between the Inquisitors. And so she puts out a bulletin to all the bounty hunters that Obi-Wan's there. Obi-Wan does end up falling into the trap, but he manages to escape by using some of the, this drug powder that gets the pirates to in some kind of stupor, so he's able to get out of there with Leia. And then we have kind of a Leia's day out where she's just like, running from Obi-Wan, not sure if he's like who he says he is. She sees that he's maybe a Jedi, has the Jedi weapon and everything. But she starts running from him, and of course it creates hijinks where they're jumping all around the rooftops. So we have another kind of rooftop scene that reminded me of some of the bad rooftop scenes in Boba. So we get Reva parkour, which looked kind of ridiculous. So we got Leia parkour, which was also ridiculous. And then you got some of the bounty hunters that show up. You got this dinosaur looking dude starts firing at Obi-Wan and Leia. And Obi-Wan's firing back. I'm like, man, this guy's out in the open. Obi-Wan's not that bad of a shot. But I guess he's a little rusty at this point. But I thought Obi-Wan would have been able to take care of that guy pretty quickly. But, so yeah, Reva's running full force at him. Should have reached him. But Leia kind of has this scene where she's appeared like she's going to fall, hanging on to a cable from the rooftops, and Obi-Wan has to dig deep and use his Jedi power in order to save her. And then jarringly, he comes around the corner, like he's on the rooftop 1 second. Next second, he comes around the corner. It's like there's no explanation for that. So it's a little jarring, especially when Reva's running full speed after him. So, but I guess she stops or something, or was really, really far away. It looks like she wasn't that far away that she would have reached him in time. But I guess she doesn't. And eventually, he meets up with that fake Jedi character again, and he wants to help him this time, and is inspired by the Jedi's actions, and I thought that was pretty good. Oh, here they come again. Jump out of the way. Hold on, I'm still doing my review, so I'll meet y'all back at the house. No, you're gonna be listening to me do my review the whole time. All right, I'll walk back. Anyways, where was I? So yeah, he's inspired by them and helps them out. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, the Leia chasing Leia around. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was hilarious. Leia running from the mercenaries in episode 1 as if they couldn't get her, as if these fucking trained mercenaries could not capture a 9-year-old. And it's the same kind of thing when she runs from Obi-Wan. I'll give Obi-Wan a little bit of a pass, because he doesn't want to be rough with her or hurt her or anything. But the mercenaries, that was ridiculous. That was dumb. It was like the Vespa scene in Boba Fett. But eventually, she trusts him after he saves her with his force power. I guess I'm going into spoilers. I don't fucking care. And then the Reva shows up, and she kind of fights the fake Jedi. I thought he was dead for sure here, but no. I guess she thinks he's less than a piece of shit. She doesn't need to interrogate him. She just uses her dark powers to pull the information from his mind, and realizes he's going to a cargo ship area or something, automated cargo. So that's how he's going to escape. And so she meets Obi-Wan there, and she's like, Obi-Wan! And her obsession with Obi-Wan is just, I'm sure they're going to reveal why later. It's probably having to do with the opening scene of the whole series, which are these Jedi younglings that are being attacked by, the 501st Legion and Order 66. And it's unfortunate timing, especially with the events that happened in Texas. I guess was triggering a few people as a school shooting, because it's like the teachers are using lightsabers to protect the kids from gunfire, or laser fire in this case. Pretty unfortunate timing, but that happened, and I guess one of those kids is supposed to be Reva. This is how she knows that Anakin is Darth Vader. She mentions this, and Obi-Wan's surprised that either Anakin is alive or that Darth Vader is Anakin. I thought he knew, because I think there was this scene a while ago. I may be getting that wrong, but he's very surprised that Anakin's still alive, or that Anakin's Darth Vader or whatnot. And anyway, he's hiding from her, and the Grand Inquisitor shows up before she can kind of take out Obi-Wan, which I think Obi-Wan would be able to handle her. But who knows, since he wasn't able to shoot that dinosaur dude. So maybe he's pretty rusty at this point. But she's igniting a red Sith lightsaber. And like I said, I wanted this strong, dark, female antagonist. But this one just isn't it. I don't know if it's her performance, her acting. But I'm not buying it. She's got, 4 more episodes to maybe make this work. But so far, I'm not really liking her character or believing her. Anyways, Grand Inquisitor shows up. You think I'm gonna give you the glory? Tries to clock block her again. This time she takes him out. Sith lightsaber right in his chest. Which he's an alien, so hopefully misses all of his internal organs, because then that would render Rebels null and void, because he's supposed to be in Rebels. So clearly he's not dead, unless they completely forgot about everything in their own canon, which has happened before. But I don't think he's dead. I think they're just kind of keeping that secret to reveal later on that he's not dead. Maybe he's a clone. That's why his fat head's all looking weird. But again, given this moment to Reva and her obsession, and she's like, we'll bring you to Darth Vader. Darth Vader will be pleased. And so that's when Obi-Wan learns about Darth Vader. But he manages, through that moment of Sith infighting, well, they're not Sith, they're dark Jedi, or Jedi hunting Jedi, just on the dark side. The infighting between them gives him the opportunity to escape. So overall, I was kind of surprised by the series, while simultaneously let down a little bit in certain parts. So a little flat, a little uneven. I think the first episode is a 7 out of 10, as I said. And the second episode, I would also give 7. 7 out of 10 on the second episode too. I want it to be better. I mean, I think with the talent of Ewan McGregor and Deborah Chow and some of these actors, I think they have the capability. And it's going to get better with Hayden Christensen, right? So I just think maybe kind of a solid opening, maybe a little weaker than I was hoping. But we still have 4 episodes to really ratchet it up. And I do think it has the capability of that. I'm not really buying Reva. I'm stopped here because we are bridge out. So I'm not really buying her, unfortunately. Other than that, I thought it was a solid first 2 episodes. I'm excited to see the future. I'm excited to see how Hayden factors in here. You see him right at the end, his eyes open, back to tank. Sorry for the spoilers, but I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already seen it by now. And really, I haven't given away too much because, there's 4 episodes left. So yeah, do I think it has a potential to get better? Definitely, and I think it will. Will we see a confrontation between Hayden and Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan? I don't know, because it seemed like they were meeting and fighting for the first time in A New Hope. Will we see Darth Maul? Darth Maul is the one with the obsession with Obi-Wan, not Reva. You get this off-brand Darth Maul, this trying too hard obsession with Reva. I have a sneaking suspicion that she's probably going to be, tying into the fact that they're Jedi hunting Jedi. And at last minute, she will save Obi-Wan from Darth Vader, sacrificing her life. I can already see that coming from a mile away when they're trying so hard with her character. So, but we'll see how it works out. And that ties in the opening scene of the younglings to the rest of the series. So, y'all let me know what you think. Like I said, solid, hoping it a little bit better, and it has the potential to get better as we go along. Yeah. So that's it so far. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next Angry Joe show when I get back. Bye, guys.